Hello YouTube, and welcome to Al's Toolbox. Today I want to talk about a common failure on Harley Davidson starter motors. You may have a motorcycle that won't start, and the battery's fully charged, and you might be on the brink of replacing a starter. Here is something you can check that's really quick and really easy to do. I actually do this as general maintenance on any Harley Davidsons that come through here. I have a starter removed, and we're going to demonstrate. This starter motor is actually out of a Buell Blast 500. It is exactly identical in form to those found on the Harley Davidson. It's these 3 bolts on the back of the starter motor that we'll remove, and there's a plunger inside. That plunger and those contacts get dirty, and they need to be cleaned. So we'll take this cover off. This is spring-loaded, this cover, so it's a good idea to keep your finger over it. Sometimes that cover can be a little bit stubborn, only because of the powder coat. This one came right out. There is a gasket here that you can see that generally stays in place pretty good. This plunger comes out, and attached to that is a spring that you don't want to lose. So there's your plunger, and there's your spring. So our issue that we have with these is if you look at this side of the plunger, you'll see that it's pitted. This copper ring, or brass ring, sorry, is pitted all the way around. That's because that plunger is what moves when electricity is applied and makes contact with these contacts inside the starter motor that also need to be cleaned. So we're going to clean them up real quick, and we're going to reassemble it. You can do this with emery cloth, you can do this with brushes. I have some air tools here and some other things that I wish to use. So we're going to start by cleaning the plunger up. We want to get all the way around and get all that pitting off. This whiz wheel works really good for this if you have compressed air and you have this tool. It doesn't take much, so when we're finished, it's going to look a lot better. I don't know if you can see that ring. It's nice and shiny, cleaned up really good. Now we're going to clean the contacts inside the starter motor. To do that, I'm just going to use a regular, like a little electric die grinder with a small grinder on the end. I'm going to be gentle. See if we can show you this. You can see what these contacts look like in there. They are a little bit dirty, and we are just going to clean them up. It is obvious to you when you pull this apart at what part makes the contact and what parts need to be cleaned up. Okay, that actually did a pretty good job. Cleaned up the contact there. We're just going to wipe everything down real quick. Don't forget to install your spring. Reinstall your plunger. You don't need to use any dielectric grease or anything in here. This all stays pretty clean. You reinstall your cover, and then reinstall your 3 bolts. Again, this is something I like to do as general maintenance on these motorcycles when they come through. If you've modified your bike to run at a higher compression and you haven't upgraded your battery cables, that will expedite the pitting of that plunger. We tighten them up. Also, I'd like to add that if you choose to do this in chassis, disconnect your battery. Please, disconnect your battery before servicing that starter motor. Demonstration purposes only. We did one on a Buell Blast, again identical in form to that found on the Harley Davidson, and very easily to do in chassis. I hope this helped.